Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Stefan, it's Stefan here from the Digital Commando show, and we're on episode 31. Don't know how we got here. This is crazy, but some fantastic guests. Sorry about my lighting today. I've moved locations, as you can probably see, but we've got Tuesday trends, and we've got something really, really exciting. So what we're going to be talking about for a recap on Tuesday trends, the things that we talk about are: what is your current strategy and focus? So we will talk to two experts in digital marketing about what their current strategy and focus is, what's working for them, and hopefully what will work for you. Then we'll talk about what content to create and why. Now, we're in lockdown still at the minute, kind of, but what content can you create while you're in lockdown at the minute and why? And then we'll talk about 3 social media tips for success. So something you can take away and implement into your business pretty much straight away. So exciting show ahead. And we have someone joining us from, normally we have across the pond, we've gone all the way around the world today, and we've got Ross joining us from lovely Australia and Shay joining us from sunny London. So let's bring him into the room. Good morning and evening, Ross.
Good evening and good morning. It's funny, I've been trying to take a break from coffee, and I'm already on my 4th coffee. I've been up since 7 a.m. So if I'm extra talkative, that's the coffee kicking in.
That's all right. We're happy with that. Thank you very much for joining us today. Now, obviously, it is about outside of the kind of time zone, but we really appreciate you being here. As you are, Shay, thank you very much for joining us. Really excited for today. I think there's going to be loads of content that people can learn from. And on that note, like I say on every single show, guys, if you learn something from the show, then we ask you to pay it forward. And all you need to do is tag a couple of people that you think could benefit as well. Don't tag them if they're not going to benefit. If they are, tag them or share the whole show with them if they're watching on the replay. And that's pretty much it. That allows us to keep going. So, guys, oh, I don't know what to beep there. That was annoying. That's probably me. Guys, let's just introduce yourselves to the audience. So, Ross, we're going to come to you first. Just tell everybody a bit about who you are and what you do. You there, Ross?
I run a business down under called Carter Media Group. Your true one-stop shop for computer guru, and I want to help businesses get online, especially with the COVID-19. So I've started to make it my mission to help businesses get online using my technical skills.
Awesome. Cheers, Ross. I think we had
Everyone still there?
Yeah, we're still here. Did you notice a bit of a crackle in there, Shay, or was it just me?
Slightly, but it was not too bad. It was okay.
Cool. Happy days. We're still on.
Yeah.
Shay,
yeah. Fantastic.
Shay, over to you.
Hello, and thank you for everyone that's tuning in. Thank you for the warm invite, Stefan. My name is Miss Shay Boss Lady, the Pretty Vegan Goddess. I'm a multi-award-winning serial entrepreneur. I help people in many different areas. I help people to turn their passions into profit. That's something I'm really passionate about. So I do a lot of coaching. I also do self-love, self-care coaching because I'm a goddess and I love people to really get to know themselves and believe in themselves and invest in themselves firstly before anything else. Also, I'm the founder and director of the Reba Awards, which is a business and empowerment award ceremony that happens every year in Canary Wharf on board a 5-star luxury yacht, where we invite the mayor to come down and award the winners. And this year would have been my 8th year, but with everything going on, I'm having to adjust and reschedule with all of that. And I run my own talk shows, and I'm also an aromacologist. So I've got my vegan cosmetic skincare products that are sponsored coming out. So I'm really excited. I do a lot and I help a lot of people.
Awesome. Thank you, Shay. So, guys, there is so much knowledge in the room today. This is definitely going to be a day to get those questions in. Incredible. Guys, once again, thank you for joining me. We're going to jump straight into our point number 1 for the day, which is current focus and strategy. Now, everything has changed a lot at the minute. For a lot of us, we're kind of working in lockdown, which we're not really used to, and that will change our strategy naturally. Now, what is it you guys are currently doing? Or what kind of strategy have you got at the minute that seems to be really working for you? Now, Ross, we're going to come over to you first, buddy.
Sure. So in terms of creating content and planning out content, one of the biggest things I've noticed is time and managing time, especially if you're either running a business or if you're building a business. Just trying to find the time to be able to create content can be challenging. So one of the things I've been trying to do a bit more is to do a bit more podcast, because it only takes about an hour out of your time to do a 1 hour show. Chop it up and you got your pieces of content. And then another strategy I've been looking at is planning out extra pieces of content, or planning out my days ahead of time, trying to figure out what type of content I can create around what it is that I am doing, and also showing people a bit of behind the scenes of my life as well, which is something that I'm currently working on, which is, I guess, is similar to a vlog, but it's a little bit different in the way that I'm doing stuff. So that's a whole nother aspect to what it is that I am doing. And in terms of focus, what it is I'm focusing on building the business, connecting with customers, and finding out what problems businesses having, especially when it comes to digital marketing, and how can I help them get online and start seeing a result from it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ross. And some of the stuff you're doing online is absolutely great. Now, one of the things that we know that you've got is the podcast as well. Do you want to tell everybody about the podcast quick?
Yep. Sure. So I do a 1 hour podcast. I'll try to do one once a week. It's called Roscoe Talks With. And the idea behind that is to get different people onto the show. And by doing that, you actually can connect with a whole different audience every week. And the reason why you want to go out and connect with different audiences is that you might want to try and grow your social media, but you might not have the money to advertise. So by having other people onto the show that have a bigger audience than you, it will allow you to get more organic reach without having to spend any money, especially in a time of crisis like now. Everyone's all about saving. So if you're wanting to save money and not spend it on social media ads, I definitely recommend connecting with other people, connecting with other audiences, and that's how you can grow. And so that's been one of my content strategies for a lot of smaller business and for myself.
Absolutely. I think it works so well. Just like we're doing today, collaborations work really, really good. So yeah, get people online, get them on the show, get them on the podcast. I was on Roscoe Talks. Absolutely loved it. We had a great chat a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, guys, great opportunity to get on some stuff. Shay, we're going to come over to you. So current focus and strategy. What is working for you at the minute?
Okay, so my current focus right now is having to shift up everything. So I usually do events. I'm an influential networker, so I normally run 5-star business events and 5-star networking meetups. So you can imagine, and also community events. So you can imagine a lot of that has had to go out of the window. And so the way I'm having to re-strategize is to do a lot of things online. I've introduced or reintroduced a lot of my talk shows now as a way to get around some of that. So whereas I would have networked before in person, VIP limousine networking to Royal Ascot or the Savoy 5-star hotel and all these fun places, or even my business and empowerment award ceremony and my retreat to Bali that I had to cancel and all of this stuff, I'm having to find other alternative ways to weave around this. So in regards to my goddess retreat in Bali that was meant to be happening in September, I've decided to add an online aspect to this. Now, I also do a lot of coaching, and this is what I've been teaching my VIP clients, is to see what you can postpone, see what you can implement to, add an online aspect to it. And that way money can still be coming in. So my goddess retreat, for example, in Bali, I've added an online aspect where I've got all these different speakers who are going to be running their own online workshops that would have been happening in Bali. So rather than me completely cancel everything, I've looked at in a way that I can be creative and innovative with it and work around the current situations and still be connecting with different world leaders from all across the globe, from different continents. And that's just one example there. My focus is building on a strong online presence right now rather than in person as I usually do. A lot of my events that I do are sponsored by my local borough here in Canary Wharf. So I've got the backing of some big serious sponsors behind me. But at the moment, I'm having to just kind of be on pause and find other ways to work around the situation. So I've created and reintroduced, I've created some new online talk shows, but reintroduced some other talk shows that I was running. One of them is a Goddess Interactive talk show where I connect with each leader from each of the continents. So Australia, Africa, Europe, the Americas, Asia, and we have every speaker from each continent. I have other talk shows where people are from different parts of the world, but not necessarily each from their own continent. And we provide different content. It's about a way of staying engaged and active with your audience, letting them know that you're still there. I'm having to rebrand, re-strategize, and come up with different ways of implementing my projects and just bringing them online right now. So my focus is on spreading my international reach and building up my online presence and finding ways to turn my actual events that would have happened in person to now re-strategizing and adding an online online aspect to them. So that's where I'm at right now.
Shay, awesome. I really, really like that. And it's a really positive to know that people are improvise and over-adapt and overcome. Well, this is what we used to say in the military: improvise, adapt, and overcome. And it's great to see that people are doing that, and you're taking it to the next level. So that's absolutely brilliant, guys. Yeah, but there's so much gone there. I definitely feel your pain. We were supposed to do the Digital Commando Academy launch this month. So gutted. We were supposed to be flying out to Spain, doing our launch over there, then back to London, then over to Miami, Dubai, New York. And obviously we had to cancel it all. We're really gutted. So for everybody who was booked on, it will happen. I promise I will get out and I will see you. Really excited. But yeah, we have to adapt. We have to overcome. We may well move those events online. I'll take a leaf out of Shay's book and do something in that kind of remit. But yeah, guys, international reach. I love that as a kind of strategy at the minute because everybody is online. It's such a great opportunity to do it. We've got Ross, he's over in Australia. Last night we had 2 guests on the show that were over in Pennsylvania and somewhere else in America. Really sorry, forgot. I think Miami area, Florida. So like there's people around. I love spreading, like getting people on from different areas and things like that. So it's really, really, really fun. So guys, take advantage of that. If you have got a product or a business that can trade internationally, use this time now to start reaching out, especially if you're in a position where you're not in a position to sell right now, maybe because of stock levels, or you might be manufacturing, or you haven't got staff at the minute, anything like that. Use this time to start reaching out, start building an audience, start building your brand, and talking to people. So at least in a month, 2 months, 5 months, whatever it is, when you introduce somebody, know who you are first. It's always good for them to know who you are.
And also, I'd like to say as well, creativity is key. If people just tap into their orange chakra, they will tap into that creativity, because a lot of the things that cloud people from their judgment of what to do and how to branch out next is the answers in being creative. Do you know what I mean? You'll find a lot of your answers there, thinking outside the box, thinking outside of the norm, like just doing things that people don't normally do, but adding a new aspect to it. You know, like your guest Ross said that he does vlogging, but he's got a new aspect of, of doing it. That's the way. It's about being creative and standing out, having your own USP, your own unique selling point.
Absolutely. And that brings us really well, actually, onto the next point we're going to talk about today, which is what content to create and why. So the creative content is the best. We want to get people's attention, and it's so difficult now because everybody's doing it. How do you stand out in a world full of people that are screaming? Well, we're going to find out. So, Ross, we're going to come over to you first, mate. What kind of content are you currently creating, or what would you advise your clients and customers, and why?
Sure. So, I guess before even creating the content, there's always the question of why do you want to create the content in the first place? And on top of that, what is it that you want to achieve with the content? Because at the end of the day, there is no point in creating what we call unmeaningful content if there doesn't have an end goal for it in the first place. So I've spoken to a few people this week of potential customers. One person wanted to make at least $25,000 in online sales. And I asked him, well, how are we going to get there? What type of content do you want your customers to see in order to make those transactions in the long term? And then I've also had another person that was a real estate agent saying, I wanted to have more potential people in my sales pipeline and more generic leads and things like that. Again, what type of content do you want to be showing to those particular people? So for myself, because I know that I'm talking to an older generation, normally anywhere around 35 to 40 or to 50-year-olds, the reason why I'm talking to the older generation is because they are the people who are currently running a business or have a few businesses that they are running at the moment. And there is no point creating content that is for my generation, because a lot of kids my age are currently creating content themselves, either for their friends or family or for a business aspect. So a lot of the time when I am creating content, I'm trying to create content that doesn't sell what I do, but shows and demonstrates to customers on what they could be having, instead of them trying to film something on their phone or writing a generic post or taking a generic photo. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show businesses a whole new different perspective on interactive and engaging content that will be beneficial for them in the long term, rather than trying to increase the sales in the short term. So that's been a primary content strategy for a lot of businesses I've been talking to, is finding out what the end goal is and what type of content they are willing to create to help them achieve that goal.
I think that's absolutely spot on. It's really funny you say that, because I had this same conversation. And as we're all in kind of advertising marketing, you guys will definitely be able to relate to this. Whereas some business owners, this might shock. I would love people to comment on what I'm about to say. I had a conversation genuinely with a prospective lead that came in the other day. If you're watching this, but really sorry, but I'm not going to drop you in it and say who you are. Now, this was really weird. So they came to me and said, look, we've got a brand new business. It's in the fitness industry, and we've got a particular product. We're going to sell it for £25, £25 a month. So I said, cool. So what's your objective? How many clients do you need at the minute? So, right, I want to bring on 100 new clients per month. Cool. You're going to get 2.5K. Now, how much is it going to cost you to acquire them? When we did all of our working out, and I said, realistically, we think we can do it as an agency, to be completely transparent with everyone. I don't care. It was about £1,800 to £1,900 a month. So he was like, oh, that seems very expensive. I don't think I can afford to do that. What are you on about? You're making 600 quid every month, minimum. Like, that's advertising into profit. Shay, am I wrong? That actually works. But like, that is the idea, turn advertising into profit. If somebody said to me, can you give me this money and I will give you back more? Surely you just go, yeah, no, I'll give you more money, like whatever you want. Yeah, it's one of those, it's confusing, I think. But people do need to be creating content and putting it out there, and converting it is so key. Shay, we're going to come over to you. So currently, what content to create and why?
Okay, so I'm a big fan in teaching people how to turn their passions into profit. So based off of that, I would definitely say whatever content you're going to create, guys, make sure that you are extremely passionate about it, because passion is so important. On days when it is freezing outside and you do not feel like leaving the house, it's your passion that's going to get you up and out of that house. When you start hitting obstacles and brick walls and all sorts, and you start getting a lot of no's compared to the yeses that you want to be hearing, and you're not getting the instant feedback and support and love that you want to receive, it's your passion, your drive that's going to keep you going. So irrespective of the content you want to make, you have to be passionate about it, guys. So that's the first thing that I'm going to say, and that's my why behind it. Now, look at what you love to do. What would you do for free? What would you do even if you didn't have to get paid for it? What lights you up? What excites you? Because when I was younger, I went and studied a course for good reasons, which was architecture, because I wanted to open a school orphanage and church in East Africa, Tanzania, and give back. But I absolutely hated architecture and I hated everything about it. And I remember every time my alarm went off, I would dread getting up and I would always reset my alarm because I was not passionate about it. But I didn't even know what passion was back then because I was so young. And then we went on Christmas holidays, so we had a break. And I got to experience what having a break felt like again. And believe it or not, I just didn't go back. I just was like, I'm not going to put myself through this again. So what did I do? I said, you know what, God, I'm going to really think about what I'm good at doing, where my skills are. I said, I'm good at languages and I'm good at fashion. So I'm going to go to college and I'm going to study one of those two. So I decided to study languages. I almost went with Spanish, but I decided to go with sign language. And today I'm a qualified British Sign Language translator. And every day my alarm went off, I got up with excitement. I got up with so much joy and enthusiasm. I was always there. I was the first in my class. And I was the top in my class. And I remember one day I came in class 30 minutes late, which is so unlike me. And my teacher was so upset and shocked by me. And she put on me the task to do what she had just taught them in half an hour. And I did it all in 5 minutes. Everything they did within that half an hour I was late. I did it all in 5 minutes. Why? Because I invested in that time. You know, Stefan was talking about investing in yourself if you want to be able to take yourself further with what you're doing, whether that's investing financially, as he was talking about, or if that's investing time. It's so important because what you put in is what you get back and more. Okay? Things don't just happen to you. You have to go after what you want. You reap what you sow, guys. So start planting the seeds that you want. If you want an apple tree, you're going to have to plant an apple seed. So whatever it is you want to be successful at and you're passionate about it, get starting today. Make that plan, make that goal attached with dates and deadlines, because anything that you can think, you can bring about and achieve, because whatever the mind can conceive, you can achieve. Okay? So guys, just believe in yourselves, even when other people don't, because everything you want is already inside of you, and anything is possible as long as you can think it, because everything that is now a thing was first a thought.
Absolutely, I can't say any better myself, to be honest. This is one of the things that it is so key. The mind is so powerful in this sense, and people really, really need to do. And it is. It doesn't have to. You don't have to make huge steps all at once. Just make that one step first, then the next one, and the next one. Continue moving forward. We always use a bit of a term that some people don't like, but like a shark, keep moving forward or die. And this is it. It's about moving forward and getting yourself to that objective. And if you do find the passion, and I'm saying to lots of people now to actually take the time during this situation to sit back and reflect and have time with themselves and really figure out what their why is, what their passion is. Because if you find that, you might find for everybody that's going, do you know what, I really hate my job, don't do it. Like, it's not compulsory. I get it, we've got to put bread on the table, but even if you do have to do that job that you're doing right now and you really hate it, make sure you're finding time to follow that passion in the rest of your time when you're not at work, whether that's learning how to do a new skill, so that potentially at some point you can go out and do that thing that is your passion, because your whole life changes when you find something that you love to do. It's not work anymore. You wake up excited, you wake up energized. And it's just one of those things. It's kind of, do you know what? I get to get up today and I get to do the thing that I love. Like, I love Facebook advertising. That sounds weird to lots of people, but I really bloody love it. Like, I wake up in the morning and I can't wait to look at campaigns. I don't do it straight away. I'm not that sad, but I kind of get up and I'm like, you know what? I'm like eager to get my morning routine done because I want to look at stuff like that because I'm such a geek. Like, what an idiot. But yeah, it works for me. It's passionate and I like seeing the results of the clients, and the clients are really happy as well. So by helping others, that helps me. So guys, yeah, I think that's it. Really, really focus and find that passion, find what drives you, and really kind of start focusing on it. Guys, we're going to go on to the final tip. What are we on for time? We're all right. We've got a few minutes. So the final subject for today is your top three social media tips for success. So without saying anything about the older generation, Ross, because I think we just got hold off for that. But which is fine. I'm only kidding. Yeah. Your top three social media tips for success. Ross, we're coming over to you first, mate.
All right. Number one, social media is always going to be a long-term thing. If you want social media to be successful, don't expect to see results overnight, because then you get disappointed. So if you set up a long-term plan when it comes to social media, make sure that you've got a long-term goal that you can focus on. And then that way, when you achieve that goal, then you feel like you've done something successful. But also set up smaller goals as well on the line, so you feel like you're getting one step closer to your success. And like you said before, especially find something that you're passionate about as well. For me, it's being creative or something technical or video. Find something you're passionate about, because that will help you to be more successful, and it will help you actually want to create more content as well. So it's similar to what Cher and Stefan already said before. I'm trying to think of another one now. Don't listen to negative thoughts on what negative people are saying, because at the end of the day, you are the only person who can define your definition of success. Everybody's definition of success is always going to be different. So don't look at what other people are doing. Focus on what it is that you want to do. And that way, that will actually help you figure out what is your definition of success.
Happy days. I think it's right. Having a plan is so key. Make sure you do have a plan. We can't get into a taxi and go, let's go. We don't know where we're going. Let's create a plan, have a strategy, have a concept, and a content strategy, and the goal that you want to achieve at the end so you can track it. And yeah, haters going to hate people. There's going to be people online that don't like you when you start putting out content. They don't pay your bills, so we don't really care. So I mean, people aren't going to like you. People said it to me when I started the show. Oh, well, what about when you get negative comments? I don't care, because actually, if someone's taken the time to sit there for 10 minutes, write a really bad negative comment, number one, I ain't really going to read it. Number two, that says a lot more about you, buddy, than it does about me. So carry on. Yeah, it's good. You need something to do with your life, I guess. So haters going to hate. Just get on with it, guys. Don't worry. There's going to be 10 people that like you for every one that doesn't. So I won't worry about it. Just be yourself.
I just want to say one more thing. I tried YouTube ads, and all the videos I advertised on YouTube, more than 50% of people who left a comment was a negative comment. I responded to every single one of them with a positive twist. And a lot of them either liked that comment that I replied back to, or they either subscribed. So sometimes it's good to turn a negative into a positive. So how you respond to a negative situation will make you a bigger person as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, give them some love. Maybe they just need a hug. That's all it is. Right. Shay, we're going to go over to you. What are your top 3 social media tips for success?
Okay, so first of all, especially if you're using Instagram or a site that involves hashtags, I would definitely say, number one, use the relevant hashtags, because a lot of my audience over on Instagram has been able to find me based on the hashtags that I use. So sometimes when I want to post like my vegan cooking, like, oh guys, look at this amazing dish that I just made, I'll put all these vegan hashtags, and then I'll get all these vegan people that comes along, and I'm like, oh wow, or if I'm doing something about the talk show, hashtag speaker, then I get those people come along. If I want to do a post about my business awards and I'm putting hashtag awards, hashtag business, I get those people come along. And I've been able to create a lot of meaningful connections from some of them, which leads me on to my second point. Create meaningful connections with people and not just have people for likes and comments. People, when you invest in people, they actually start to know that you're genuine and you're sincere. And they will always be the people that you got more chance of sticking around with you for the long run, as opposed to just people that are just jumping on your bandwagon because you're now hot and everyone wants to know you now. So create meaningful conversations, meaningful connections. Reach out to people every now and then and see how they're doing. Arrange calls every now and then. Don't just jump on and leave a comment or just like. I like to just keep connected. So I'm not sure if it's because I'm a Cancerian and we're the caretakers of everyone, but I just like to keep connected with people every now and then. So that would be my second tip. And my third tip would be yourself. Some people say that you should only post business content. I don't agree with that. people want to know the person behind the brand. You are your brand and all of that stuff as well, but people want to know you, so people want to see your personality shine through. And people start to believe in your business when they start to believe in you before they believe in your business. So like when you're only posting business posts, people don't get to know what you're about really. They just know the business side of you. But when you just start posting fun little quirky posts of you, whether it be videos of you dancing, which I like to do sometimes, or whether it be uplifting inspirational quotes to just encourage people, or quotes about even how my day's going. Like people get to see it inside of my character and get to know me a little bit more outside of the business realm of the boss lady that they've nicknamed me. So, I just think it's nice to have that authentic connection with your customers and your potential future customers. So those are my 3 top tips. Will be use hashtags depending on what site you're on, and create meaningful conversations with people, interactions, and be yourself. Don't just post business posts only.
Absolutely agree. I think be yourself. Yeah, I can't agree with that more. It's so tiring to put on a facade. So for anybody that kind of creates this is what I want to be. This is my kind of the fake me, I guess. This is what I want everybody to see. Guys, it's really, really tiring. I promise. Like, I don't do it anymore. What you see is what you get. If you like it,
Yeah.
if you don't, you don't. But that's fine. But admittedly, a few years ago, I wasn't like that. So a lot of stuff that people would have seen me do online years ago was very much like, I'm suited and booted, I'm super corporate, finance guy. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And it wasn't me. Now it's a bit more me. I'm wearing decent because I'm a skater dude. I wear a jumper to work. I don't care. Like, I ain't wearing a tie ever again if I don't have to. So that's it. Hashtags, so key. Use the right hashtags. Remember to use the hashtags that people search for and not the hashtags that you think are cool. Like, this is really key. Not popular hashtags. You might have the word home, might have 60 million people using it. That doesn't necessarily mean people are searching it. So you want to find the ones that people are looking for, not just the ones that people are using. So think about that as well. That's good. And Shay, you couldn't be any more that was absolutely spot on. Social media is social. So engage with people. Don't just like stuff. Like, oh, share, right? Which is fine. But engage. Now, LinkedIn's algorithm is based around it. For anybody who wants some LinkedIn tips, more people will see your stuff when you're commenting on their feed and their comments and their articles and things like that. So you need to engage. By liking stuff, no one's going to really see you anymore. Get in, engage, get into conversations. Don't just post a comment either. Like, that's really rude. Don't just like comment bomb people and then be like, see ya. Put a comment in, and when they reply again. That's called conversation. And it works. So have more than one comment. Otherwise, it's just like comment bombing people. It doesn't really count. And you'll start to build rapport with these people, and there's so much you can gain from them and those relationships. I've got into some mentoring programs, so I mentor some people on LinkedIn and through the Facebook mentorship now. So like there's so many opportunities, and that's kind of absolutely free. You just put yourself out there if you want to get into it, and you can start doing that sort of stuff. But yeah, engage with people, give value. That's my big kind of content thing for now, and my big social media tip for the day. Create value added content. Now, I do say this over and over again, but that's what it's all about at the minute. We want to create value. You want to build, like Shay said earlier on, you want to build trust. And people buy from people. So regardless of what your business is, if someone doesn't like you, then I guarantee they're not going to buy something from your business. If they do like you, there's a significant chance that they probably will. So people buy from people. So yeah, be authentic, be someone that people can trust. And just kind of stay ethical, I think, for the big one, which is really key for me in a minute. Oh, I'm binging again. But guys, that is literally all the time we've got. Oh, we've got time for probably one question. Let's have a quick look. Let's throw this one in. What time have we got? Yeah, we'll be fine. What was your biggest learning curve when you started creating content for social media? Right, probably only got like 1 minute each. But Ross, over to you first. What was your biggest learning curve when you started creating content?
Learning how to be yourself in front of a camera and learning on how to talk to people through social media. That's probably one of the hardest things. A lot of people think you have to be different, but the reality is you just have to be yourself, and that way you can attract similar people to you rather than attracting the wrong group of people that you don't want. So that was the biggest learning curve for me, and it's going to be a big learning curve for a lot of people who want to create more social media content.
Awesome. Thank you, Ross. Shay, over to you. What was your biggest learning curve when you started creating content?
At first, I couldn't think of an answer to that, but one thing that just came to me now is something that I'm always so big on, which is knowing when to post. Because depending on what I want to post, I sometimes want to catch my national and my international audience. So I might not post like early straight away in the morning. I might wait a little bit to like around 2-3 o'clock when I know my international audience will definitely be online as well. So I just say know roughly the timing of when your audience is going to be online. And so that if you've got something really important you want to put out there, then that's the time to really be engaging and posting with your audience.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. For anybody that uses Facebook and they're wondering that, you can actually go into your Facebook page analytics and it will tell you when your followers are mostly online. So take advantage of things like that. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I'll send you over a thing. We've got to think about it, guys. But for me, I think it's going to be my biggest thing when I was started creating content, going back a while now, but was I didn't know what to post, and the easiest way to find out what to post is ask people what you should be posting. So go out to your audience and say, guys, what do you want to know? Give me some questions, and then build your content around the questions that are being asked by your audience, by your followers, by people that are interested in your business. Or if you haven't got much of a network in the beginning, which is absolutely fine as well, go to like some online networking or something like that and throw it out there. Just say, guys, I really appreciate your help. If you've got 2 seconds, I would just like you to answer, like, what's your sticking point? Obviously, we're in marketing, so we'd probably go, right, okay, well, what's your sticking point on this? Like, what are you struggling with on social media? What are you struggling with on Facebook advertising? And then you answer those questions. You're adding value. It's great. That's my tip. That's it. So, guys, that is it for the show today. We ran over a couple of minutes, but thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. For everybody who's watched, I hope you've got some great content in there. And something that you can grow from. Thanks for the comments. Another great show from Shireen. Thank you very much for joining us again. Richard, just going to quickly check your comment. Important not to try and sell through commenting as well. Absolutely right to have engage, add value, even ask questions. You're right. Don't just jump on comments and start saying, buy my shit. It doesn't work. Like, no one's interested. Like, they don't know who you are. I'm not going to buy it. And for God's sake, stop. If anybody sells Bitcoins and all that sort of stuff, stop commenting on everything I post. Like, no one is going to buy your Bitcoins if you start spamming my posts. It doesn't work. Don't do that. That's my rant for the day over. Guys, just to remind everybody, if anybody wants to get in touch with you, and anybody tuned in late, Ross, we're going to come over to you first. Can you just remind them who you are, what you do, and how they can get in touch with you, more importantly?
Sure. If you want to get in contact with me, go to rosscarter.com.au, rosscarter.com.au. Or if that's too long for you to remember, go to rosscos, rosscos.link/website. That will take you straight through to my website. Again, I am a South Coast content creator, video creator, website designer, and developer from Australia. And I run a small digital media business to help businesses get out of COVID-19 and other natural disasters we had in Australia as well.
Awesome. Cheers, Ross. And for all the work that you've done around the bushfires and stuff like that. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic work. And thanks for joining us all the way from Australia.
No worries at all.
Shay, over to you. Just give people a quick reminder what you do, what you're saying, what you came from, and all that kind of jazz, and how to get in touch with you, how to find you.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. So I'm Miss Shay Boss Lady. I'm a multi-award-winning serial entrepreneur. I do many things, but right now I feel like the services that you guys may need from me, if you want help to restart your business and adding an online aspect to it and to just get yourself back out there, or if you want to rebrand yourself, anything like that, or if you want to figure out what you're passionate about, then you can hit me up, guys. I'm on Instagram as Boss Lady Empire. I'm also on Facebook as Pretty Vegan Goddess. And you can visit my website at www.bossladyempire.org. That's bossladyempire.org. Or you can visit rebaawards.com. Reba spelled REEBA. So that's rebaawards.com. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show, Stefan.
Honestly, thank you for coming on. Thanks for making the time. And like I said before, guys, the guests are fantastic, and they're giving up their time to share their knowledge with you. So if you did benefit, which I'm sure you did, then please do tag a couple of people in the comments that you feel could also benefit from what we've talked about today. That's all we ask. Guys, it's been amazing. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of the week. And for everybody watching, also, thanks for tuning in again. We'll be back very soon with another video and some more fantastic guests. Right, peace out. Have a great day.
Peace.
See ya.